Twitter is making millions of dollars from previously banned accounts, report says. The report highlights how valuable a small number of highly polarizing users can be for the platform. Let's dive into the details, shall we? Twitter is making millions of dollars from just a handful of some of its most infamous users, according to a new report. New research from the Center of Countering Digital Hate, CCDH, estimates that Twitter will generate up to $19 million a year in advertising revenue from just 10 accounts that were once banned from the platform. The report looked at the current engagement with 10 accounts that were previously banned for publishing hateful content and dangerous conspiracies. You can't see my hands, but I'm air quoting. The accounts were reinstated after Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. The group includes a number of high-profile accounts associated with extremism and conspiracy theories, including those belonging to influencer Andrew Tate, Daily Stormer founder Andrew Anglin, prominent anti-vaxxer Robert Malone, and the Gateway Pundit. In order to estimate their reach and engagement, CCDH analyzed nearly 10,000 tweets from these accounts during a 47-day period in December and January. According to their analysis, on an average day, tweets from the 10 accounts received a combined total of 54 million impressions. They write, projecting this average across 365 days, the account can be expected to reach nearly 20 billion impressions over the course of a year. In order to determine how much ad revenue those impressions might generate for Twitter, CCDH says it created 3 new Twitter accounts that followed only the 10 users named in the report. The authors found that the ads appeared about once every 6.7 tweets. Then, using data from analytics firm Brandwatch, which estimates that Twitter ads cost an average of $6.46 per thousand impressions. CCDH came up with a total figure of up to $19 million in estimated annual ad revenue across the accounts. While the estimates aren't a precise accounting of how much Twitter might be making from these users, it demonstrates how valuable a small number of highly polarizing accounts can be for the platform. It also underscores how much more Twitter stands to gain for bringing back even more controversial users. Yeah, you'd think they would have known that from the beginning. You know, controversial people tend to be kind of popular and generate buzz. Even if people don't agree with them, they'll follow them. Remember Eminem from the 2000s? Remember that? He sold 10 million copies of his album because it was so crazy, you know, and that's how it is, you know. It's interesting. But it's good money. Why get rid of it? You know, they tried to ban Eminem 20 years ago. It didn't work. It shouldn't be working now. But now you have this handful of companies that, you could just snap their fingers and you're gone. It wasn't the case back in the day. The government had to do it, and it was really hard, because we have the Constitution. Let's continue. All of the accounts named in the report were once permanently banned from Twitter, but were reinstated after Musk said he would offer general amnesty to users who hadn't broken the law. Twitter also recently announced plans to allow even more previously banned users to appeal their suspensions. All the same, Twitter's advertising business has taken a major hit since Musk's takeover. A number of high-profile advertisers have pulled back from the platform, and revenue is down as much as 40%, according to reporting firm Platformer. Yeah, that's probably true, but it'll come back eventually. People like to advertise where, advertising dollars are. And Elon Musk is matching a $250,000 match for Super Bowl. I'm very curious to see the results of that and how many advertisers take him up on that. The report also points out several instances when ads from prominent advertisers appear adjacent to offensive and inflammatory posts from these users. For example, a Prime Video ad directed underneath a tweet from Andrew Anglin that states, "The only career a woman is actually capable of on merit is prostitution." Wow, Andrew. Going in, huh? The report also highlights an ad from the NFL, which appear directly underneath a tweet. Misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. Who are you people to say if it's misinformation? Isn't Robert Malone a doctor? What, he know better? I'm not even saying he's right or wrong. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not giving my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a doctor either. But how are you to say it's misinformation? You know, the Andrew this is kind of crazy. That's something I wouldn't agree with personally. I could say that. But who cares? He has the right to say it. Don't watch it. You don't have to read this. Who cares if there's an NFL ad under it? Who cares? What does that matter? There's all kinds of crazy ads underneath a bunch of crazy stories. People get murdered all the time, and then, it goes on commercial. Look at this. Let's go Pfizer. That's just how it is. Who cares? I mean, Howard Stern used to have ads. All these crazy people can have ads. It doesn't matter. People act nowadays like if you run an ad on something that that the company is endorsing it. No one really actually believes that. It's a grift. No one believes that. But they act like that it's true, so advertisers will pull out and people can bully them to get what they want. But no one actually believes this. This work confirms that Twitter has been displaying ads next to every one of these toxic accounts we have investigated, despite the fact that the individuals behind them are known to promote hateful views and falsehoods. CCDH writes. Okay, CCDH. How do you know what's false and what isn't? So it always frustrates me with all this misinformation type stuff. Who's determining this? They used to think the world was flat. Well, to be fair, some people still do. But you see my point. We used to think a bunch of people used to do lobotomies. And if you said lobotomies were bad, that was misinformation at the time. It's crazy. It's so frustrating. You got to let people speak. You got to let the discussions happen. That's how you know in the long run if it's misinformation. And if it's misinformation, we win out. You think World War II, what Hitler was espousing, that's bunk now, 100%. But then we have that discussion, so we know that. He went a little farther than discussion, so maybe a bad example. But you understand my point. You have to actually have the discussions, and then the good ideas win out because you can convince people that even have these bad ideas that is bad. That's why racism has dropped so much in the last 200 years. It's outrageous. Think of 200 years compared to now, because you can discuss it and you can realize it's bad because you can have conversations about it. People can say their stupid racist stuff, but then you can go and be like, okay, this is why it's wrong. This is why I don't agree with it. And then you present some arguments and most people will be convinced. Not everybody, but over time, the majority will be, and it makes for a way better society. Trying to cut stuff off. Imagine if you used to say, stuff about racism was misinformation. You can't have freedom. What? Everyone's free? No. Misinformation. So that's where it leads to. You got to just let people talk, even if it's stupid. Like that Andrew Alglin thing. Who agrees with that? Most people don't. But he's allowed to say it, and you can have the discussion, and then we can have a discussion with him and his fans and tell them why they're incorrect, right? Or why we think they're incorrect, okay? But if they're not allowed to be platformed, they're going to think these same things, but we can't talk to them, and we can't talk them out of it, and they're always going to, for their entire life, they're going to have these ideas. But if you can see, okay, they're saying these ideas out in the open, they're saying it in public, so then we can be like, okay, this is why I disagree, and most people will probably come around eventually. And at least we can have that discussion. Even if you have a 50% chance of convincing somebody, that's better than zero. But what do you think? Do you hate these accounts? Do you hate that they brought them back? Do you like that Elon Musk bought Twitter? Do you hate that he bought Twitter? Do you have other opinions on other takes on this? Would love to read them in the comments below. Also, remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to help spread this news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.